everyone, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing really well. Welcome back to another Sims build. So today I wanted to do a kind of like cottage in the middle of a really bushy area. It's like in the middle of like a little makeshift forest. So originally the house I wanted was a 4x6 kind of like little cottage, but I soon changed my mind after choosing like the windows and the door and that it's going to be a little bit more modern and clean and crisp, if you will. So I'm just trying to choose out where I want the stairs. Honestly, having the stairs be able to go at like right angles is the best best thing that could have happened for me in this build. I also choose to do a little kind of outside, I want to say atrium, but I think atrium is completely the wrong word that I'm looking for. It's kind of like a little outside but underground outdoor kind of like patio area, if that makes sense. I've removed the roof, so while you're outside you can like look down and see the little patio, but unfortunately while you're down there, if you look up you just see like black. You cannot see outside, which I feel like is a shame. So it's a half like on ground, half underground house. So I'm just choosing the windows now. I do end up moving the two windows that are on like the plain wall to the corner, and just choosing the railing for the stairs because definitely want a railing, don't want to like fall off, and yeah, just putting in some lights and stuff like that. I didn't know where I was going to put the kitchen in this, so I spent a lot of time just like trying to place around kitchen counters and choosing a place where I wanted that to go, because the upstairs is a living dining area, so it needed to fit like a little couch, a little table to eat, and obviously counter space for cooking. I thought about putting the TV over the top of counter space, but then I thought that looks really horrible. I didn't like it. Maybe for like a really small build, but because this build, it's not the smallest build out there, so I knew that was kind of like it didn't really fit how I was going to go about this or what I really wanted for this. So I decided to move on to picking out a couch because that helps. But I found this one and I really liked it in yellow, so I chose to do the other couch in yellow as well, and that kind of like solidified for me the sort of layout I would go for on the top floor, as well as the fact that I really like the yellow to feature throughout like the whole house, the upside and the down. The upstairs and the downstairs. So yeah, that kind of like told me where to put the counters and stuff like that as well. And then that little nook was just like perfect for a little dining room table, so I put that there. It's enough for 2 chairs, but this house is primarily for like my single sim, so there is only one person living in this house. I did originally, like, my whole idea for this was it is going to be one of my Sims houses. I did sim test it. I don't know why I did. I don't normally do that. I think I want to try to start making like really small builds and kind of like pushing the limits of what works and how close together things will work. So I think that's why I decided to do that. I do forget to put in a sink at this point. I do put one in, but the little kind of corner counter kitchen space, I think I'm going to have to trade that out for a kind of like proper counter, because I didn't try and sim test building, baking or cooking anything after I had put the sink in, and I'm not sure Sims use the corner counters as kind of like a place to prepare food. They could do, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen any of my Sims or whatnot use the corner counters, so I think I'm gonna have to just swap that out for a normal counter so she has a bit of counter space to use. So I have like the layout of the upstairs and that wood flooring throughout. I did put a rug in at the end to give it a bit more kind of lived in feeling. So the wallpaper, I really was struggling as to what colours I wanted to use. I end up going for a nice grey. I do try and put a wall in to like separate that little area, because I don't like it where 2 colours just like meet. But I didn't like that because I felt like it was kind of like unnecessary to have that. So I end up just using grey kind of like most of the way around, and then putting some tiles behind the oven and some of the counter space, and I end up putting a yellow wall in between the 2 windows leading down the stairs. So the sink is in. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if Sims can use the corner counter, so I think I'm going to go into that. and change that to just like a normal bog standard counter. This will also, I will put this on the gallery if any of you are interested in downloading it to play it for yourself, playing it. The garden I think is like one of my favorite things that I've done in this build. So I'm going downstairs and I'm putting in a little room which is going to be the bathroom. I do add an extra square there for the sink space. So I was searching for the sliding door. I knew that we had a sliding door, but I just couldn't find it. I do eventually find it, but I really wanted the sliding door to lead out to like the little underground patio area, which I think turns out really, really cute. So putting in the toilet, the shower, like I said, extending the bathroom by like 1 square to be able to put in a sink and a like little storage area here. So I don't know again why I sim test that. I was just a bit unsure, I guess. So the roof, you just saw a snippet over there. I have like the 2 slanted roofs and one of them is glass. I absolutely love the glass roofs, but I don't like how you can't paint the inside of the roof without it painting the outside of the roof, because sometimes when you like look up with the ceiling on, it kind of ruins the whole theme going on there. So yeah, we're just painting the bathroom. I decided to go for like a black and white theme. The bathroom is very small, kind of like very basic. I do put some shelves in there as well to give it a bit more storage. So choosing the kind of like patio floor area, I do end up changing that, and then I put in some carpet for like the whole downstairs area. I choose grey, again grey and yellow features throughout the whole house, so I choose grey walls and then I put some like accent yellow walls backing onto the bathroom. So for the bed, I really like my Sims to have a double bed, whether they live on their own or they don't. I just prefer them to have like a double bed. I think that's another thing why I would like to do really like small builds, because it would force me more to use like the single beds and stuff like that. So I think that that is something that I will definitely do in the future. Maybe do some like really small builds. This here, the bed was poking through the stairs and it was irritating me, so I decided to put like a little plant pot on the stairs, and I think that turned out really cute. It gives me an idea for another kind of like little place we can do that is just like overrun by like plants, or like a gardener's house or something. Just like plaster the stairs in plants and stuff like that. So I think that that's pretty cool. So I just changed the wallpaper. I, like I said, go for a grey and yellow theme down here as well as upstairs. So the wardrobe, I decided to go for the big wardrobe where they kind of like walk in, change and then come back out, because I just really like that one. I feel like it takes up a lot less room, and it's kind of like it can sink into the walls, so I just feel like it's so much better for builds when you want to save a little bit of space, because I don't know if like you would count the 2 squares that I've had to like build around it to be like to count as the square foot of the house. I don't really know, but my whole 6x4 house has kind of gone down the pan anyway, since I started to build it. So I changed the colour of the wardrobe to be yellow to match the whole yellow grey theme. I do put in a bedside table next to the bed, obviously. I also put in a little lamp next to that, and I put in a little snow globe to make it a little bit clutter, a little bit more lived in. I normally put in so much clutter in my builds, it's kind of ridiculous. If any of you have seen my Fallout 4 like builds on my main channel, I definitely love me some clutter. I feel like The Sims doesn't have an awful lot of clutter, so I just use the snow globe from like the debug. I feel like the debug menu is where The Sims clutter is at. I also don't use like any really like CC for furniture and stuff like that. There is one like CC pack that I do have, which I do use in this build. It's like stackable books, and I think it also comes with kitchen stuff and a couple of paintings, so I use that one in this build, and that is pretty much the only CC like furniture pack that I do have. So I decided that I wanted to try and put in a desk next to the bed instead for like a computer. she can use the like desk and the bed, but her head like pops through the stairs, and I really wasn't happy with it. So I tried to move the bed over, but I just couldn't end up getting her to use the bed and the desk as it was. So I end up just like saying screw it and putting back the bedside table. And there is like this little square nook just there where I put the table, and I think that is just like more than a perfect place to put the little table and have like a little laptop and stuff like that. So that is where I end up putting the little table. I put a picture above it, but I do change that to I don't know what it is, but it's like this frame with some plants in it. It's really nice. I think it come with the dine out pack, I think, but I think that looks really nice above the computer in the end anyway. But for the moment I just choose the kind of like ugly, it's not ugly, but I just feel like it didn't go with the build I was going for. I think the only reason I chose it is because it was grey, and it was like grey and yellow theme. So I put a mirror. I do end up putting a wash basket underneath that as well. In the bathroom, I do heighten the walls on the underground part are the tallest they can go. That's how I managed to put the bedside table next to the bed. But I sometimes forget kind of like how tall a sim is and where they could possibly reach, and I've put in too many shelves for the bathroom, and I feel like the top shelf that is in there, it's a little bit too high. So that's kind of like my mistake through this build, that I think I put that a bit too high, not realizing how tall the walls are. I love the tall walls, but sometimes I lose like spatial awareness, I guess. So I'm putting in some like bushy vines, overgrown stuff in the outside. I keep going to say atrium, it's not, it's just like an outside patio area that is underground. And then I carry that on through like the top of the house, and I put some vines on the wall as well to make as if they're like growing down underground to like the underground. But I hope this makes sense. I really suck at explaining things sometimes. So I'm moving on to the garden now, and I don't know what it is, like the paint tool, but I really kind of like the cobble gravel look of the kind of like painted on path, especially because you can kind of like, you can make your own path and then you can just like sort it out. So I wanted it to be really bushy and like nature like, so there are a lot of trees scattered around, big ones, small ones, flowery ones. I really tried to do a variety of different trees to make it look more actual, like livable, than just being like the same tree repeated over and over again, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. And then I end up just like bushing up the whole area with plants, flowers, grass, everything like that. So I'm just putting some more vines on top of the like trellis thing that I have going on here, and then these are the vines that I put on the side of the house as if they were growing down to like the underground outside area. I don't really know what else to call it. I also decided to put in some pipes, because with builds I sometimes feel like it's the small details that make something look more realistic, and I thought we definitely could have pipes. We definitely could, because it backs onto the bathroom and I feel like it kind of makes sense. And then this little fairy pond thing, I absolutely love it. I think I've used it in one other build. I'm not sure you guys have seen that build, but it's so cute, and I definitely thought that it went with this build, this kind of theme that I ended up going with with this house, and I just thought it looked so cute in the corner. Put a tree behind it. I was having trouble trying to move the trees about. Sometimes they were just like snapping, and it was really irritating me. So I ended up putting shadowing around the grass and everything that I've put in here. I liked it, but I also freaking hated it, how the grass just like ends and then it just goes into like the flat floor grass, if you will. So I do actually end up putting stones down that whole like left half to give it a little bit more oomph, because I just didn't like how it was going from like long grass to just like dead short grass, so I ended up doing that. I really like the long grass plants that you can put in, adding some shadow to the stones as well, and then moving on to the kitchen, where I end up putting some clutter on top of the refrigerator to give it a bit more kind of like lived in feeling. I put down a rug. I also put some clutter in front of the TV. In front of the TV I do put some books and like a pencil stand, but I choose to actually move that to the downstairs with the laptop because I feel like that makes a lot more sense than having it underneath the TV. It kind of just didn't make sense to me, having it under the TV when it should be like with the computer and stuff like that. The books that I use are stackable. They are part of the mod, like the only, what is it, CC furniture kind of mod thing that I do have, so I end up moving those. And I also use a painting on the yellow wall behind the sofa, which is also from that same mod. So there are some screenshots and a little video tour coming up, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it will be on the gallery if you guys are interested, and yeah, just hit the like button, leave comments down below. Do not forget to subscribe if you are new. Feel free to check out my main channel, it's in the description, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, bye.